Good morning, guys. How's it going? To everybody in the chat here, give it a few seconds. Looks like we got some people still waiting to get in here. All right, good morning to everybody in the chat. Good to see you all here as always. So I think today actually might be setting up pretty well for a few of the stocks that I already had on watch. And then we're going to hop into the pre-market movers, and then we'll take a look at some of your guys' stuff. So if you haven't been here before, thank you very much. This is my morning pre-market analysis where we talk about stocks that could potentially move every single day. And we focus strictly on penny stocks, or at least I do. Some of you guys like to swing trade in there. But for me particularly, I focus on momentum trading and penny stocks because that's where I see the biggest gains. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start sharing my screen for you guys. Give it a second to load. All right. All right, so everybody can hear me good and everybody can see the screens properly, I hope. Send it in the chat for me if you can. All right, sounds good. All right, so let's go over the first one that I have on watch, and that first one that I do have on watch is BW. All right. So first off, BW has a 48 million share float, average volume of 1.8 million. Right now, its current volume is 6 million. So the float is a little bit higher, but then again, we are picking up in volume, so that is a good sign. And again, BW is one that we've called out in the past that it did really well right in the morning. But if we take a look just at their one-year chart, this right now we're looking at a one-year chart. They were trading around $17, and then they gapped down. And Jordan, Washington, we will be going over PTN just because I know that it is one of the leading gappers on the pre-market watch list. So first, we typically go over just some continuations, and then we usually hop into the pre-market scan where we'll be able to pick up stocks like PTN. So again, BW traded at $17, recently gapped down, and then it came back again and gapped down from $10 down to a low of $1.61. And right now is when we're starting to finally see this turn around. So if I go back out of here and pop up my charts, again, you will see that BW for the past couple days has been grinding a little bit higher. And just on Friday, it's seen a really nice day where it made up about, who knows, about 50 cents is really what it did. It made a move about 50 cents intraday, which is a big move. So a lot of people I know might be swing trading this. But for me personally, I'm actually looking at maybe getting in on BW today if we can see a break above $2.75, okay? And not to mention, $2.75 would be playing a break of the previous high of day. But if you look down here on this one-day chart or this one-year chart, you'll notice that BW has a lot of room up to the next resistance of the moving averages. So the first moving average that it would run into for resistance would be the 20 exponential moving average, which rests at about $3.71. So right now it has technically about $1, a whole dollar move or whole dollar profit range before we see its next sign of resistance on a one-year time frame chart. Now, really, I mean, that would be my target. Honestly, close to $4, $3.75 would be my first target on BW. So again, we'll watch it. If momentum starts dying before that, that's okay. But for me personally, I'm going to take a look at BW to get in to go long over the 275 mark. Okay, you can see that it's clearly broken through its 5-day previous high, which was 263. Price is at about 275. So again, a break above 275. First target would be $3, and then from there, $3.75 area. Is it going to do that all today? I don't know. That'd be a big move. The float's pretty high as well. So we'll see, but it does have a lot of potential. I am actually very interested in watching BW today. So for those of you tuning in, just know that I'm pretty excited about keeping my eyes on BW for the day. Another one that I did have on watch was NBCN. All right, so NBCN. The reason I liked NBCN originally, and actually it's performing better than I expected. Okay, so the reason I like NBCN just simply because It was a stock that ended up crushing it on Friday. Altogether, I mean, it basically went up. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I don't want that. What move did it make Friday? On Friday alone, it went up about 70%, 80%. So huge move on NBCN, okay? But again, if you guys know how I trade, or if you've tuned in enough times, you'll know that I like to see stocks hold their high. So, once they reach their high of the day, I like to see them stay right around that high price point, which would be where this line is that I'm drawing. The high price point would have been there. As you can see, the stock ended up selling off, and it wasn't holding its highs. Now, that's okay. We'd like to see it do better than that. But the only reason I'm really looking at this stock is just simply because the move that it made Friday, which was such a big move, that it's possible that it's going to bring in attention from other traders that want to see this thing run again. All right. And I don't believe this has any news. Okay, so no, they did have a little bit of news this morning. But there was nothing when it came to the actual move that it had maybe Friday. So Friday, it looks like there's a lot of stuff out as far as news, so that could have been driving the price up. So simply, I'm going to watch this stock to see if it can continue that move up, and then hopefully we can get a break over $1.32. So really, you could get in a little earlier. I might get in early if I do end up playing the stock for a break above $1.20 maybe. And then first target would be $1.32. But really, if it's going to be a strong momentum play today, I would like to get in over $1.32 to potentially see this run. But the only issue with that is if you come down here and you look at the 1-year day chart, you'll notice that it has resistance right at $1.38. So really, it almost makes the most sense to wait until the stock breaks above $1.38 before going long on this. And that's maybe what I would do. I would maybe wait for a break over $1.38 just because that's where the long-term resistance is, and it's going to hold up as strong resistance. So really, for me, NBCN has to be a break over $1.38. Again, NBCN has a 44 million share float. And then it has an average volume of 230,000, not a lot, but it also is trading at 4 million, almost 5 million shares of volume. Okay, so definitely has increased significantly as far as in comparison to average volume. Yeah, you're right. Philip Franklin is right. It had a lot of news out on Friday. Now, that's the thing. Are we going to see this thing continue to run? We don't know. Right now, it's actually looking like it's holding up pretty well. So we'll see. We're just going to have to watch it as the day progresses and just keep a close eye on it, maybe on the back burner. Now, another one that I was actually really excited about, and this one is TRXC. And the reason I'm so hopefully still excited about this, and it looks like it's doing basically the same thing as when I last checked it. Okay, so TRXC, unfortunately, it does have 119 million share float, so a really big float. The average volume on it's about 1 million. Right now it's trading at 1.4 million. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing super crazy here. But the reason I particularly like TRXC so much is because it could have that $1 or whole dollar break today. It's possible that we will see it. So let me zoom in down here. After I'll pop it up like this. So if you look at this chart, this is the 1-year chart. You'll notice it's obviously been downtrending, but look at it right in this area. Right in this area, you'll notice that it's forming a nice pattern right here where we're making higher lows, and we're staying primarily green, and we're right backed up onto, what's up, Sweet Discounts? How's it going there, boss? All right, guys, so look at TRXC on the 1-year chart, and you'll notice that the stock right now is backed up right up to the 200 exponential moving average right here where my cursor's at. And actually, I'll just do this for you guys so maybe you can see a little better. This is the area of focus right here where I just draw this little circle. That little shaded circle, that's the area of focus on the 1-year chart. You'll notice that this price is backed right up on the moving average. So today, if we can break through maybe $1.03, $1.04, this thing could really push upwards because we're now breaking through its 1-year long-term resistance, and that's a great sign. So TXRC, I honestly think that it does have pretty damn good potential today, okay? I think it does. So I'm primarily going to keep TXRC on watch and probably BW. So again, I'm going to keep them all on watch. NBCN, BW, TXRC. I'm going to keep them all on watch, as always. And, you know, we'll just go from there, okay? There's never any guarantees. That's why you get yourself a nice list of potential players, and then you go from there, and whatever one works out or starts meeting your criteria for entry points, you go ahead and lock it down, give it a go, all right? Now, that's all I had for continuation plays. So let's go ahead and pop into the pre-market scan and see what we have. Ooh. All right, so pre-market wise, there's a few we got here, so I'm gonna go ahead and write them down. First one, leading gapper right now, PTN. Still, that hasn't changed. Next one on the list is BLPH. I'm just going down the list, writing down some of these ones here. BCRX. I don't think SMI is good. Nope. All right, so I went ahead and wrote down a few. Maybe we'll even look at NAK. But primarily out of the gappers, there's only going to be a few good ones, if that. Okay. So first one we'll take a look at is PTN. Okay, so PTN is gapping up. It is the leading gapper, okay? But I looked at this earlier, and the only thing that makes me nervous is the fact that PTN is gapping up on absolutely no news, okay? So think about that. PTN gapping up, but on no news. So what is driving it to gap up so high? So that raises a red flag, okay? PTN is gapping up, so there's eyes on it, but there's no news, there's no catalyst, there's nothing that actually validates a good reason for the stock to gap up. There's simply no reason at all that this stock is gapping up. So why would I risk trading it almost? Okay, so it is gapping up, and I will watch it, but as you can see right now, it's clearly downtrending. All right. I mean, it's even, I mean, you could say this is a descending triangle, maybe, maybe, honestly. Okay. And chances are this thing's going to probably keep going down because there is absolutely no news driving that price to go up. Yeah, exactly. Philip Franklin, most recent news is 722. That news, whatever news that may be, is no longer a catalyst. You know, there, you know, not saying you thought it was, but, you know, news from 722, that clearly means that the price is gapping up based on nothing, okay? So you can watch it, but I would be very, very cautious if you plan on trying to play this to go long, just because no news to drive the price going up. So good chance we're going to end up seeing PTN just completely drop out of the gates and probably come back down somewhere to reality, which is probably going to be around 45, 50 cents, okay? That's honestly probably what I see happening with it. Pumping PTN, no, wouldn't really say. I mean, it's possible. So I'm pumping PTN, but I couldn't really tell you exactly why it's gapping up, but I guess that's a possibility. So let's see. And then somebody else like BCRX, PTN. So yeah, Robert Farrell, like PTN short. Yeah, it could be it honestly could be a good short play. But the broker that I use, if I were to short anything that low price, I would get absolutely crushed on commission. So yeah, honestly, it probably is a better short play today than it is long, in my opinion. Now let's see. Yeah, P&D, Jen. Let's see. Now the next one, somebody said recently said BLPH was gapping up as well. So let's take a look here at this guy. Okay, so this, wow. Okay, so I looked at this earlier, but it was not doing it. It hadn't done this. Okay. Now let's see. First question: anything gapping in the morning? Does it have news? Okay, so there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different press releases or news releases on Thinkorswim for the particular stock BLPH today. First one, Announces positive top line phase 2 data impulse treatment pulmonary hypertension associated with chronic obstructive. Okay, so it looks like BLPH is in the business having to do with maybe, you know, diseases or something about heart, pulmonary treatment, hypertension that's associated with the heart. So again, this company has news out this morning and it's gapping up, and it looks like it had some positive news on its something. Okay, I'm not going to go into reading in. Honestly, it's very technical reading, so I don't want to pronounce anything wrong and look super silly. So again, PTN, this makes more sense. Okay, the stock is gapping up, but it has news to back that move. Victor, I don't particularly swing trade. I only day trade, so I don't give recommendations or anything like that on swing trading. I mean, I'm not bad at it, but you know, it's not my go-to thing. So for me, swing trading, I usually don't hand out information. All right, so BLPH is gapping up, but it's gapping up, but it's dying down. As you can see, it gapped up to 145, came right back down. It's possible that it ran into some resistance. If we come over to a one-year chart, it gapped up to $1.45, and no. So, it actually gapped up through all of its moving averages, but it's coming back down. So so again, not my typical go-to thing. It looks like it's going to continue downwards, break through, and it's going to come back down. So I'm not going to particularly watch BLPH or PTN for that matter. I'm not too stoked about them. Daniel's shouting out TITN. TITN. Leonard, SDRL has been dead. It was dead last week Friday. I would not be watching that. If you're in the stock, I'm not going to give you, I don't know if you are in the stock. I would have been out of it a long time ago, but SDRL just didn't perform very well. Yeah, so Philip, that's what I was thinking, unless I read that wrong, BLPH. So, but the thing is a 200 moving average, or maybe it did. Maybe it was a little higher, maybe this morning or something like that, but that's what it looks like. Maybe that BLPH got rejected from the 200 EMA, but my 200 EMA shows at about $1.35. So BLPH, I don't know what rejected that price, but for me, it wasn't showing a moving average rejection. What was the one I was just taking a look at? TITN. Okay, so, all right. This could potentially be something. And that's just because TITN has recently seen a big downtrend, and now it's gapped down. All right, now it's a gap down. It's finding some type of support, maybe a bounce around 1168. But what is that? Why there is a question. No. So there's really no past support that's causing TITN to bounce around $2, but it's possible that it could be right close to that $12 mark, and that's what's holding it up. All right, that's kind of what it looks like. All right, so it looks like TITN is finding support right about the $12 mark, and that's what it's doing. So for me, momentum play, not really. But you could definitely keep TITN. So whoever shouted out TITN, good job, because that's something good to note and something awesome to look at. So again, those of you that like to swing trade, maybe you could focus your eyes towards something like TITN because it gapped down so much. So it does have a big gap that at some point it's probably going to turn around and start filling a little bit. So it looks like it's finding support right now. But again, you could keep your eyes on TITN just to watch it here for future trades. Let's see, its previous bounce point. So let's see what else we got. All right, MEIP. So Evan Daniels. So yeah, so I don't know a ton about JDSC and JNUG, but if JNUG is the one that follows price action with gold, then yeah, with uncertainty in North Korea, Hurricane Katrina, the fact that we haven't had a recession in over like 10 years, the fact that that's all going to be happening very soon. So for those of you watching in on this live stream, just to let you know, we are for sure going to be having a recession and a big correction coming soon. A lot of people have been expecting it already. But myself strongly feel that we're going to have a big market correction here very, very soon. So just be cautious of it. And when it does happen, don't let it scare you. When it happens, I'm telling you right now, I'm taking a ton of my money and putting it right back in the market, because the market always comes back, always. So to answer your question, yes, gold has been rising pretty significantly. Those usually show signs that a recession's coming. General Electric, or GE, their trend or their chart pattern is no longer following the same trend as the S&P and the Dow Jones, which is very unusual. It's actually doing the exact opposite, which is not normal. So that was another indicator that we should be coming towards a correction soon. So there's a lot going on right now, but I do feel a correction is going to happen. You know, Hurricane Irma, you know, with people thinking that it might come through. Yeah, people could be switching some of their money into gold. You know, who knows exactly. But for someone shouting out MEIP, it just doesn't have volume here. Looks pretty dead to me. I probably wouldn't be watching it. So I'm going to go down the list here on some of the gappers this morning. BCRX gapped up, had news this morning, but it's no longer holding that high level. Found resistance right at about $6. I'm not too crazy about it. Not too crazy about it. It's not holding that high, but that was a big gap. Holy shit, it gapped up $1. All right. SMI was another one. They gapped up. Okay, so this wasn't as interesting earlier, but now it's become a little bit more. So again, this is another stock that gapped up on no news. Or well, possibly. No, not really. So it's basically gapped up on no news. Now it's just sitting up there at 520. Not really doing much, you know, not super. Bradley, so a correction can affect gold prices as well, but usually not as hard. Usually what happens is everybody transfers their money. They close out a lot of the positions within their stocks, and then they start investing their money into gold, because gold is actually, it's a commodity. So it actually has value that will always stand, okay? Gold will not lose its value if, you know, a company goes bankrupt, kind of thing. Gold will always have value, okay? So Apple stock will not have value if they keep losing money and start going out of business, but a chunk of gold is as good as the gold is ever going to be. It's always the same value. It changes, obviously, but gold, silver, metals, copper, they always are going to hold a certain level of value, no matter who's running it or, you know, whatever, okay? So gold, that's where people transfer their money when the markets start to look like they're going to take a turn for the worse, because it's just how the trading world goes. People see that gold is a valuable thing, a commodity, so they start putting their money into gold when the market starts to feel like it's going to go down. And then when it does start going down, gold goes higher and higher and higher. And it's just, when gold starts to rise and rise and rise, there's usually an underlying factor, which means that a lot of people are thinking that the market's going to crash, okay? Let's see. So really, that almost does it. Unless something has changed, unless you guys have something out there that you really think is moving right now that is very, you know, worthwhile as far as looking at, that's really all I got. I'm going to take a look back at a few of my calls, see if anything's changed. Okay, so NBCN, again, is still holding a resistance right at about $1.20. So seriously, NBCN could be a good play over $1.20. Look for a move up to $1.32. That's possible, but we do have a lot of moving averages. So like I said, over $1.38 sounds better. Just a lot of resistance right in this area. BW, let's see what's doing. So BW, really, it's just being very quiet, okay? This is, again, I mean, we see this all the time where stocks pre-market are just super quiet, don't do anything, and then they end up killing it. All right, I'll take a look at ATRS here in a second. All right, now, and TXRC, let's see. Man, for whatever reason, I have my mind so heavily set on TRXC, but only if it's going to obviously work, that is. Okay, so TXRC, it's seen a little bit of pre-market action. So again, I'm just going to watch TXRC for a break over $1, get in maybe $1.03 or something like that. I really think that it has some potential if it can break that whole dollar, no problem. Again, I mean, this chart setup is phenomenal to me. To me, TRXC has such a phenomenal chart set up that I could see it easily squeeze up past the dollar and really go. Okay. So let's see. We'll take a look at INSN. Holy shit. Okay. So yeah, INSN is crushing it. Holy shit. Wow, from 15 all the way to 28. So clearly there's probably some news. Yep, so there's definitely news. Let's see. 103% of positive late-stage results for rare lung disease therapy. So yeah, it looks like their stock is running up based on some news. Spreads are actually only spreads are only a cent right now. That's actually really good. Okay, so again, this is another stock that's moving based on really good news. It's very, very high priced out of my price range. But for those of you that play higher price stocks, you could definitely watch this one. It may continue running today, but also be careful because, again, it just gapped up from like $12 to $28. So technically you could see a huge, massive sell-off right out of the gates, or it could just start slowly downtrending for majority of the day. So yeah, you guys shout out a really good one there, INSN. Keep it on watch. But again, it's out of my price range. And then the DXTR still. I'll see DXTR. Nope, DXTR has very, very low volume. I wouldn't be trading it. I mean, it's possible you can see spikes out of them, out of nowhere, but it's just a stock that's not trading on high volume, so I wouldn't be my go-to. As a resistance. So let's see. News on PTN. ATRX. Did I look at ATRX? Let's see. But yeah, again, ATRX is one of those stocks that doesn't trade on super heavy volume. So it moves very slow for me. But, I mean, it is actually following a nice uptrend right now, technically. And it tends to bounce. Looks like it tends to bounce right off the 100 exponential moving average. So you could definitely keep this on watch for maybe a bounce play right about now. That might be good. But, again, like I said, a momentum player. So those aren't my go-to stocks there. To deal with positive news. Someone said ATRS is flagging. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, you could consider this a flag maybe on the 1-year chart, but not really. Yeah. So again, I think we'll cut it there. I mean, everything's kind of moving. I mean, you have PTN, but PTN was gapping up based on no news. So it doesn't look like the pre-markets are doing so great right now. So again, this may be the day where I just basically watch my momentum scanner all day long to see if anything kind of pops up. It looks any bit better. It looks like a lot of people shouted out. What's up, Juan? A lot of people shouted out UNXL. So I guess I'll take a look over here and check this guy out real quick. Okay. UNXL, it had a great day previously, a couple weeks back, but right now the volume's dead. Probably not going to see that nice play we had not too long ago. PBR. Ooh, PBR looks good. Looks like I actually had a Fibonacci drawn on this for whatever reason. So let's see, where are we at? The price is at 968 right now. $968. All right. So it is gapping up, obviously moving pretty high pre-market. First thing you want to do is check, is there news on it? It does look like there's news. Where's the price September? But after Harvey devastation. So it looks like they raised their prices on whatever it is that they do. Maybe petroleum, probably. So it looks like they raised their prices after the Harvey hurricane. Now, again, it's a little bit out of my price range. For a swing trade, maybe might be good just because of the fact that they're raising their prices due to Hurricane Harvey. But I'm a momentum trader, so this isn't really my go-to thing where I can give you a lot of good insight. it would probably take a little bit more time to analyze something like this personally. Find free pre-market. Ramesh, pre-market stocks, you don't have to pay for them. You'll never have to pay for them. It just depends on whether or not you have like you just need a trading broker, something like I have, TD Ameritrade, and then you'll be able to find pre-market stocks just as anyone else can. So they're free, always should be free. I don't think you'll ever have to pay for looking at stocks. Maybe your broker charges a monthly fee, but other than that, you should be pretty good to go as far as that goes. Now, again, that's all I got for you again. So NBCN's on watch, BW, and TRXC. So we'll see how the day goes. Again, pre-market, nothing looks super fantastic. So if those don't hold up and they end up kind of going through and falling through, we're just going to go ahead, and I always watch my momentum scanner to see and find stocks that are moving, and then I'll just look for a setup right on the spot, whether it's a breakout above 50 cents, a pullback, or there's a bull flag or something, and that's how I just determine my trade. So again, 14 minutes left till the market opens. Get your orders ready to go. All the links are going to be in the description box below for our trading rooms and whatnot, so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll be here tomorrow and throughout the next week and the next week and here on. So if you see value, thank you very much for being here, and we'll basically just keep going through and doing what we do. All right, guys, so have a good day and happy trading.